Welcome to the Dork Forest. Jackie and her pals will never bore us. Shameless confessions
about our obsession
will make us laugh and smile. So let's explore the Dork Forest and dork out for a while.
Hello and welcome to the Dork Forest. It's Jackie Cation. You know the websites because they're the same. JackieCation.com, DorkForest.com, TheDorkForest.com. Because I like to buy a URL, FamilyPetAncestry.com. Sends you to JackieCation.com. The show is on iTunes. It's probably on Stitcher. And it's repurposed all over the place, God knows. But it's also on DorkForest.com, where the phone bonus is also available. And there's a teaser clip from YouTube. I try to put it all on DorkForest.com for each episode. And that's kind of nice with the notes and fun. Let's do the credits. Patrick Brady, gonna fix this audio. Mike Rickberg composed and sang that song you just heard. He'll sing his words to the Mexican hat dance at the end of the program. And Vilmos fixes the website, JackieCation.com. JackieCation.com has all of your needs of a Jackie Cation variety. It has my schedule telling you where I'm going to be. This week, I am at Acme Comedy Company, my home club in Minneapolis, Minnesota, recording my next album. And then the week after that, I am in Madison, Wisconsin, where I went to college, doing comedy on state. Not doing all of the material for my album, I'm just going to cherry pick and do all of my favorite bits from forever. So if you live in Madison, Wisconsin, come on out because it's going to be fun. And not that Minneapolis isn't going to be fun; it's going to be really fun. But I'm on task. I need to make sure I do all the jokes that need to be on the new album. So that's the comedy. And then you can always check my schedule at JackieCation.com for where I'm going to be in the future. And what else is on JackieCation.com? Merch. If you need merch, you guys. If you want a Ranger of the Dork Forest t-shirt, a Dork Forest t-shirt, or one of my stand-up shirts, the Spooky Reading Girl shirt, or my CD or DVD, you can get them at JackieCation.com on the store page. Shipping is included. The shirts are all U.S. made, union made here in the United States, and they run a little big because of that, just so you know. And Bayside is the brand name if you want to look up Bayside and see their sizing. You can watch me do a couple of videos, my Conan sets. There's my Last Comic Standing set. There's a bunch of, videos and cartoons and whatnot. Me doing stand-up on the video page. And there's a donation button. It's still December, so food banks are light in January. And it's right after the main holiday here, Christmas and Hanukkah. We're in the midst of it, I think. But if you don't donate to the Dork Forest, as last week where I asked that you do not donate to the Dork Forest, you instead find a local food bank and donate to them because everybody could use it, and everybody usually remembers before the holidays, but not after. So just Google the name of your town and the word food bank, and it should all work out for you. And then in January, feel free to donate to the Dork Forest. Knock yourself out. You can always support the Dork Forest by using the Amazon banner. There's a tiny Amazon link on the main page, and then if you hit support the show, there is a tiny Amazon, there's a small Amazon banner, and all it does is bring you to Amazon. If you order from Amazon, it doesn't cost you extra if you use that portal. The Dork Forest just gets a bit of a kickback. So that is that. Other than that, you can always go to thedorkforest.bandcamp.com for premium episodes. And they're live episodes. They cost $2 a piece. There's some free stuff on that Bandcamp page as well as a storytelling album. And that, I think, is all of it. So let's get into the episode. It's a fun one. Hey, it's Jackie Cation. I'm in my living room in Van Nuys, California. Very glamorous. I am here with Nia DeBose. We met earlier this month.
Yes, in Houston, Texas.
Houston, Texas. But you live here now.
Yes, I live here in L.A.
That's right. So, Nia DeBose is at LOL Nia DeBose, D-O-B-O-S-E.
No, D-E-B-O-S-E.
I said, did I?
Is it D-O?
What am
That's
I?
DeBose.
That's DeBose. That's a different person. I'm sure she's hilarious.
I'm sure she's just as funny.
LOL Nia DeBose.
Yes.
And it's at Nia_DeBose on Instagram. And it's NiaDeBose.com, where you occasionally post a Scruggle meal.
Yes.
And what is a Scruggle meal?
Okay.
One of your dorkdoms is food, and I think we are all human and love food. So let us get into it. What's a Scruggle meal?
Scruggle meal. So if you look on a lot of social media, a common joke is the struggle meal where sometimes people will post photos of their meals and it's terrible. It's like,
I love that hashtag, a struggle meal.
yeah, when people are like, yeah, I cook for my man because I'm a good woman. And it's like, is that red macaroni? Like, you don't really know what it is.
Right. Did you buy that at the 99-cent store and was it in Arabic?
Is this supposed to be food? I don't think you did it right. And so I decided to do a scruggle meal with a K, to kind of differentiate. Like, just because you are low on funds or you're a struggling artiste,
right,
does not mean that you have to eat like crappy food or ramen noodles every day. So
I was just thinking about this. My stepmother, one of the worst cooks on the planet.
Really?
Yeah. And I just realized, I think it was on purpose so she could stay skinny.
Oh my!
She used to make the shittiest food, and you're like, are you doing this because then you don't want to eat it?
What did she make?
Well, the only thing she was good at, literally, was chicken and pilaf, because my dad liked those.
That's all you need, though.
That was fine. She made an amazing roast chicken. I to this day, chicken is my downfall.
Right.
And I will fiddle and diddle with a chicken recipe like a crazy person. But I was just talking to you about Zanku chicken because you just
which
moved
I will
here.
be trying.
Yeah, a year and a half ago. You've only been here a year and a half. You got to know about Zanku chicken, owned by the Armenians, by people. There's the alphabet is usually framed in the in there, and then it's covered with everybody's there. All your peoples. It's not just the Armenians. It's we got your Asians. Everybody comes because everybody likes chicken. Chicken is amazing.
Chicken is universal. Everyone likes chicken.
Amen.
People make fun of like black people for liking. Everybody likes chicken.
Right. And
it's like every culture.
And to say that someone can't like chicken because they like it too much, that feels cruel.
It is.
It feels cruel and inhuman.
Because what are you supposed to eat in place of chicken?
Right.
Fish? Come on. Get out of here.
Fish.
You're gonna eat fish
wow.
every day.
Fish, not the second option I would have gone to. I would have gone to turkey, another poultry.
Or turkey. That's okay. I didn't think about that. Or quail, maybe. If we're going to stick with
Cornish game hen.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks too much like chicken. I'm so sorry.
Your own miniature chicken.
I went to a medieval times thing, and you got your own Cornish game hen because they wanted to pretend like you were eating out of a trencher. But you got it with your Diet Pepsi. Because I asked for...
Is that like a cable guy where it's like, we keep things here medieval at medieval times, like, oh, but they had Pepsi?
Right.
Dude.
You've ruined it.
Yeah.
And no Coke.
Right.
Because you're a comic. Yeah. And you have lived here a year and a half. So by definition, you're reinventing the wheel. So, you are, I
guess so.
Well, it's the way it goes. You move to a new town and you're like, no, I promise you I'm funny. And they're like, well, good. Prove it. I'm going to need you to prove it. And then when you do, there's a tiny amount of work. And then you're building up a Lego castle very slowly. Ooh. Anyway, so
I hope I don't step on that Lego castle.
Right, now without your shoes. So what's your favorite scruggle meal? What makes a decent, like, you're like, I only have ramen.
Right.
How do you fix it?
Well, for one, throw away the sauce packet. The little seasoning that comes with it. It's full of sodium.
Yep. And that's it. It's just MSG.
Yeah, just get rid of it.
It's salt. Chicken flavored salt, beef flavored salt.
It's just salt. It's just salty salt. So what I've done is, and again, this is nothing like new, fancy. I'm not going to write a book about it. It's just, I'm not going to scream from the mountaintops. It's just sustenance.
Right. This is just sustenance, and it doesn't have to be shitty.
Right.
That's what we're saying.
It. Can I eat it without vomiting? It's, so what I did was the first time I ever really thought about doing it seriously was, I went to a ramen place because I'm from Missouri, and that's not a thing.
Is not a thing.
It's not a thing. You just get your ramen noodle packets from the store for like a dime, and like that's it. So I went to this ramen place that people kept talking about, and it was like the worst experience. I didn't even get my food.
Oh, weird.
I didn't even get my food.
Oh, the restaurant was just...
Yeah, it was super rude and pompous, and it's just noodle soup.
Right.
And they were assholes to me. And so I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm just going to go make my own. And another comic I know, who is Vietnamese? He's Asian.
Right.
I'll just keep it with that.
He's a perfectly nice Asian man who might know things about noodle soup.
Yes. I don't want to.
Let's not name him so that he doesn't go, hey, Korean jackass.
Yeah, right? No, like, I'm Chinese asshole. Like, oh.
I don't think you understand the difference between Indonesia and Malaysia. Like, no, you are sadly correct.
You're right. I didn't. I'm sorry. So he kind of gave me some like alternatives, like how he makes his own.
Yeah.
Ramen, and so I did, and I got dumplings from like Trader Joe's for like $2.
Right, a thing of frozen dumplings.
Yeah, frozen dumplings. I made my own like seasonings with like yellow curry, paprika, and just like some fresh garlic and ginger.
Yeah.
And just threw that in there. Has some little bit of chicken broth. Just boom. Best tasting thing ever. And the total came to like maybe $5
for a giant pot of it.
Yeah, for a huge
that
amount
you can
of
have at least 3 meals.
Exactly.
And snacks.
And it was born out of spite. So that's why it's my favorite meal. Like, I'm not going to pay you $12 for this shit. I'm going to make it myself.
We're going to just do this. And
it turned out well.
And that's, that my sister one time, she loves a fiddly thing as well and made homemade ramen noodle soup. So she made her own noodles.
What?
Yeah. And and the big thing with ramen noodle soup now is that if you go to one of these fancy, they're like, okay, yes, I'm weird white American lady. You want real ramen noodle soup? Well, then we're going to cook pork bones for 3 days.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, please do. And then I will give you $12. And it's the most amazing broth if you take like these bones and cause it makes real stock,
Yeah.
So, so that's what she did.
She made her own noodles?
She made her own noodles, and then she made her own stock.
That's
and then,
hardcore.
Right, and then there's a certain, and then you break an egg in it.
Yes,
right?
I've done that too.
Right?
Yeah.
And she said, but the egg has to only cook for like a minute and a half. And I was like, hey, fiddle and diddle, all right, do whatever. And it was an amazing bowl of soup, right?
Sounds good.
But it took her, I think, a day and a half to make it.
But sometimes I once made my own coconut milk. Which, by the way, don't do it.
What?
Don't,
how
folks, if you're listening, don't.
What is the difference between coconut milk and the water that's in a coconut?
Okay, here's the thing. The coconut water. Now, if you buy a fresh coconut, you can shake it. You can actually hear the coconut water swishing around in there.
You can get a coconut from a dude
for like $1.
Well, it was $3. He had a machete and young coconuts.
And that's what you need.
And chop,
Yep.
straw, $3 cash at an exit.
Okay, but here's they've got their technique
was tasty.
down.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're just at home,
if you're new,
you've never done it.
Yeah.
You look it up online and make it seem like it's super easy. It is not. Okay, so the water, the coconut water, that's easy. You can just kind of use a screwdriver or drill or whatever, and get the hole and pour it out.
Yeah,
that's fine. The coconut milk,
right?
Okay, that's a whole nother process that requires tools. It requires prayer. It requires so much. Like I have to pry. First, you break open the coconut. First, you drill the coconut open or open it. You pour the fluid, the coconut water, into a separate container.
Okay.
Put that on the side. Then you crack it open best you can.
Yep.
I think my boyfriend, he was literally outside with like a hunting knife.
Oh.
That he bought at like a gun show, just trying to hack this thing completely open. And he comes back in, he's like, okay, well, good news, I got it open. Bad news, our neighbors think I'm crazy. They just see me hacking open a brown sphere that they might think is a baby's head. I don't know.
Head.
But there you go. And so then you have to pry the meat out of...
sort of the inside white stuff, which is coconut meat.
Yes, that's the coconut meat. Okay?
That's what coconut milk's made of?
Yeah.
Okay.
You break that out, and which, by the way, is very sharp. The outside of that, the coconut husk or hull, it's very sharp. And then there's 2 layers of it. So you've got the big stuff, the big chunky brown part on the outside, a little thinner brown part. They really make you work for it. You break the pieces up, and then you put them in like a food processor.
But just the white meat part, right?
Yeah.
And then you food process it, and then you have to strain it to get all the chunks out?
Yeah, you strain it through.
Like a cheesecloth to sort of squeeze it?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't care that much.
Yeah.
Coconut flakes, on the other hand. Like, do you like coconut?
I like coconut water.
Okay. I like coconut water.
Coconut milk, but I do not like the coconut flakes.
Right, like on a
dried, shredded coconut on a cake.
On a cake. People enjoy. We have Andy brought home some sort of. He's a gamer, right, and a game designer, and so he's at some gaming event, and some people don't like coconut. Mm-hmm. I'm one of them. Right. I don't hate it. It's just I would never purchase a coconut flavored sweet treat. Anyway, but it's a sort of a bugly looking thing with a dipped chocolate and coconut. And he's like, this is the greatest. You should try this. And so I tried it because we're married. And
that's what you do.
It was super coconutty. I was like, well, you're going to enjoy this because it's got all the things you like in it, and I'm unmoved. But
I can't. My mom used to do those mounds.
He loves mounds.
No, I can't.
Some people like coconut.
Yeah.
And get out there.
Kind of like with your mom. I think my mom bought those so much because she knew that we wouldn't eat them.
Yeah.
Because we were just like, that's not my.
There were some hardcore rules in our house about who got to eat what, when it was sort of like Nancy, my stepmother. She was the only one who got to drink the soda, and there was literally, it was like 1 6-pack of Coke that she nursed like it was, I don't know, like it was ancient. It was like a whatever, but
like,
don't
you
drink
buy
it.
more.
Why she didn't? She was like, she didn't want to encourage us to drink soda.
Oh, okay.
She was like, these are for me, and then my dad had chocolate, and then there's 6 of us kids, so I mean,
Big family too.
Yeah,
Big
how
family
many?
And Midwest. Yeah, I have 5 other siblings.
So you have 6 kids in your family too. So
Yep.
yeah, she was like, there's ice cream. There's giant tubs of ice cream in the freezer.
You got ice cream?
We got ice cream.
Shit, we did not get ice cream.
Might have been ice milk. Yeah. It's
We got sherbet from time to time.
Oh, sherbet, that's nice. And there was like a definite hierarchy of like, there were some things that you better save these items. But that sounds like exactly, and I don't know why, like I never remember Nancy eating anything that she made. Like I was like, what are you eating?
Maybe she just snuck and ate it later, like put aside a plate or something.
Because some people like to eat alone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a primal thing to just shove food in your mouth,
Right.
Maybe
Dogs don't want want somebody next to them.
Yeah.
They're like, no, I'm eating. Are you going to steal
what
it?
it is.
Maybe that is what it is.
I just want to, or like kids, they take food off your plate. Sometimes.
I'm super social. Yeah. I like to eat out. I like to eat out with people, and I don't mind sharing a plate.
I don't mind sharing it if I really, let me offer. If I really like the food.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, this is so good. You have to try this. Let me offer. Don't just like reach.
No.
Because then I would be like a dog. Like, don't I swear.
Whack. Yeah. No, that's just
rude.
That's just who raised you.
Right. Just reaching over.
You don't just grab, you say, that looks amazing. Can I try it? And I'm like, yes, of course you can.
But not just like reach over.
But some people, I have friends who are like, you can't actually. You have to order your own because there's boundaries, I guess, and they know what theirs are.
What, did they grow up in an orphanage? Just share some food.
May I have another? Please. So so we did. What other Scruggle meal? Let's do another Scruggle meal. I thought, what the heck?
I did. Well, I've done a couple of them. I did one with, I made a salmon salad.
Okay.
And it just happened, there was salmon on sale. I got it. And I just kind of looked up like different ways to
Not
prepare.
canned salmon, just regular, like fresh.
Canned salmon. You're like, because you're from the Midwest.
Yeah.
Did you ever do the salmon patties?
No.
What? Like the salmon croquettes, I think is what they...
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay.
I had them when I went to the East Coast, but as children, we only had tuna fish.
Real? No, we got salmon croquettes like often. But I think that was only if my mom could find them on sale.
Right.
Because my parents...
Canned meat is expensive, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like one can of canned salmon is like $5, I think, almost $6.
It's a fair amount of money, and if you have a big family, you're
and
like,
you still
I
have
don't
to
know
pick
how
the bones out, which is bullshit.
That
Canned
is
salmon people.
That is bullshit. I did not. You don't have to pick the bones out of the tuna.
No.
What
But you have to like peel the skin off and pick the bones out of the canned salmon. That's ridiculous.
Oh, that is
Maybe it's for like authenticity, so you're like, oh, I know.
So you know that this is not Soylent Green.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
this is actually salmon.
you're
Okay.
charging me $6 for a can. Take the bones out.
Take the bones out. You can debone
Please.
this. Yes.
But yeah, I think I used, again, there was like a jar of habanero mango salsa.
Okay.
And I just used that with like a little bit of like soy sauce.
Yeah.
And cherry tomatoes and feta cheese. And on
That
a bed
sounds-
on kale.
On
with
kale.
red onion.
That's
was
nice. Red onion.
And again,
Always
I always kind of like, I'd like to challenge myself and see how cheap I can make it.
Right,
and
right.
It's still decent
That's a
quality.
TV show on the Food Network right there.
Let's pitch it from
we're
your
all
lips
looking-
to God's ears.
Exactly. We're all looking for work, you guys.
We'll host it together.
Exactly.
Let's do it.
I'll be fascinated, and then I'll come back and go, oh my God.
This cost $2 to make. You'd be
Yes.
surprised.
It's funny because when I first moved here, I was telling you before we went on, is I lived with my friend Jennifer McLean. We shared the studio, and we'd go to the 99-cent store. And one time I said, I would never buy food here. And Jennifer McLean said, yeah, all the food that's in our pantry that you've eaten? It's all from the 99-cent store. And I was like, oh, shit. She's like, why are you such a snob about it? I was like, I thought it'd be stale or I don't know, made out of crime. And she said, no, it's just, it might be a little old, but it's not, it just wasn't popular.
Yeah, it's still, like, my friend Al. Al is really good at finding, like, clearance item meats, which initially
that sounds horrible.
He has a gift, though, because because I would just ignore it. I wouldn't, there's no way I'd buy, like, anything with, like, a clearance sticker on it that was meat, but he's got an eye for it.
Right, so he can tell.
Yeah.
Maybe he was a butcher in another life, and he can perhaps note, oh, there's nothing wrong with this meat.
I guess it's not moving, so we can work
right,
with it.
And there's no tinge of anything gray going on.
Yeah.
Which is always a good sign with bad meat.
Yes. That's why I don't, I don't know if you'll bleep it out. I don't buy meat at Walmart.
Okay.
Terrible experience.
Let me tell you something. Walmart, huge fan of the Dork Forest. No.
One of your main sponsors.
Main sponsor. Food at Walmart. I've only bought food at Walmart when I'm doing the road, and there's no, Walmart has killed every other business in town.
Yeah.
So you have to go to Walmart for groceries, and the groceries are fine. The meat at Walmart was bad?
Yeah. Terrible.
Was it in Houston or?
It was in Houston.
Yeah.
I bought, like pre-seasoned chicken or something. Also, one of the reasons why I don't really buy pre-seasoned anything. I prefer to season my own stuff.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, I will say this. I always buy whole chickens because I think they're fresher.
Do you cut your own chicken?
Well, you can get the butcher to cut it for you, but I do have halfway decent meat. Like, you just have to find it in a regular.
So I could go to, like, Ralph's.
Right. You have to find the dude and hand him the chicken and say, can you cut this?
Really?
Yeah.
What?
But you have to find him and you have to say, I want the back. And, tell him you want the stuff for stock. And the giblets and whatever.
Oh, shit. You just changed the
I might have
game right now.
Exactly. Well, here's the other thing, is I go, right now, things are going well.
Right.
I should just tell you.
Yeah, she
Nia
has a
DeBose.
sweet digs, okay?
Yeah, we got half the Christmas tree is up, huh?
Yeah.
Come on.
Half a Christmas tree.
Better than none.
Yeah.
Now I buy meat at a place. I buy it at Whole Foods.
Okay.
And so they will definitely cut up the meat for you.
Okay.
Because you're spending $3.69 a pound for chicken.
Boy.
Which is kind of expensive.
But they give you the bones for the stock and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
And here's so chicken at Whole Foods, different steps. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Mm-hmm. Step 5, step 3 is the only chicken you want to eat. Step 5 is chicken you get for stock, because that is an old chicken. That is a chicken that got to live its life out, and then it was killed in the end. And so I once bought a step 5 chicken, and I tried to cook it because I didn't know that it was just for stock, because it was $5 a pound. And so it's like a $20 chicken. And so I brought it home and I bake it, and I'm like, this is incredibly stringy. And Andy goes, what's going on with this chicken? Mm-hmm. And I said, well, it's a step 5 chicken. He said, stage 5 chicken? And he was like, did it have cancer? And what did this chicken? And I was like, no, it's the chicken. It had the best life. It was outside. It ran around. It pecked for its food.
Had a family, fulfilling career.
A BA and in literature. And so, but he kept calling it stage 5 chicken. And I said, you call it that one more time, I'm throwing the rest of this chicken out. And I eventually made it into a chicken salad. Mm-hmm. There's a very nice, I make a very nice tarragon chicken salad.
All right.
Where you put tarragon, a little bit, I do a plain yogurt instead of mayonnaise.
Okay.
And then onions and a little bit of celery if you got it.
Do you do grapes too? Do you add grapes to yours?
I never do. Andy loves fruit in those things. When fruit and meat come together, I disapprove.
See, when you describe it like that is just, sounds so terrible.
Right. It's not, again, much like coconut, it's not what I'm looking for. But if done, do you like fruit with meat?
I can do grapes in a chicken salad.
Yeah.
I do like that.
Yeah.
I also like pineapple ham.
The ham with the pineapple?
I can do
what
that.
about oranges in a salad?
I don't like oranges in a salad. I barely like oranges.
Okay.
Barely.
It's an
I
orange.
like lime. I like lemon.
Mm-hmm. Other
Oranges,
citruses?
Gotta be in the mood.
Grapefruit?
Again, gotta be in the mood. for the grapefruit.
We have an orange tree and a lemon tree in the backyard. Meyer lemons, Valencia oranges.
What?
I know, from Wisconsin. Never not going to be psyched about that.
Of course. That. In fact, I will pay you for a bag of oranges.
I will pay you to take some lemons because we have hundreds of lemons.
Deal.
You get a free T-shirt.
I juice them.
Wait a minute.
I've got into juicing.
Oh, there you go.
Because LA. You can juice. Someone told me once, if you feel like you're getting sick, juice lemons and ginger.
Yeah.
And put a little bit of cayenne pepper in there and take it like a shot. So I went walking through my neighborhood, just cuz. Yeah. And I saw a lady that had like her yard was just littered with lemons.
Right.
She had a huge lemon tree. There's lemons everywhere. And so I saw her walking out and I waved her and I was like, excuse me, ma'am, I see you have all these lemons here. I'll pay you for some of them. She's like, I don't think so, no. And I was like, bitch, you got a yard full of lemons. Like,
and
I'm offering you money.
Pick them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're killing me. First of all, that is bullshit. Mm-hmm. And when Jennifer and I lived together, there was I think it was it was one of those cactuses that you can make like a Mexican cactus salad out of.
Have yet to try that either.
Well,
is it good?
I don't know how to do it.
Oh, okay.
You have to know what to do with the cactus. It's a very flat cactus, and I've ordered it in a restaurant, but only because I saw this woman cutting this cactus, and we also had an orange tree, and she was picking these oranges, and she looked at me like I was going to yell at her, and I was like, yeah, they're in the world. Yeah. I mean, it's not like they're, like our lemon tree goes over our fence. Mm-hmm. And sometimes people come by in a truck and pick all the lemons from that side of the. And I was like, please do.
But see, that's also a Midwestern thing. That you're like, yeah, it's there. It's food. You can have it.
It's food.
Yeah.
Like, we went to Hearst Castle. There are so many. There were like the Hearst Castle, which is owned by William Randolph Hearst, right? And he donated it to California. Mm-hmm. The trees just laden with pomegranates. And I was like, can we? And they're like, no, do not touch.
Oh,
and
I'm taking something.
You could be.
Sorry. My pockets are going to be out.
I'm taking this tulip out of here.
I'm taking something out of here.
That zebra's coming with me.
I'm going to find a way to put it in the back seat.
It's our next door neighbor. They moved in about 5 years ago, and they've planted are fruit trees. Like he's got a pomegranate tree, and he's got a peach tree, and he's got an apple tree.
A peach tree?
Yeah. And so whenever anything comes up, they're like a basket on our front.
Oh,
they're very
so
nice.
Sweet.
Yeah, they're from the Philippines.
Oh.
And for the love of God, I wish I could remember their names.
They've been living there for 5 years,
if not 8. If not 7. And he has told me I want to steal their fucking mail. Yeah. So that I'm like, I think his name is Tak.
And it'd be your luck you get the wrong one from
right.
the
and then
previous
I'm like,
resident.
Oh, dude. And I wish there was because they're so nice to us.
Just ask.
Again, 7 years later.
Yeah.
It feels
too
dumb.
late now. It's too late.
It feels too late. And
Yeah.
so he always says, hi, Jackie. And I'm like, hey how's it going?
Hey, buddy.
Jackasscation. And whatever. I can't remember I can't remember guy's named Bill.
Well.
So there you go.
But I mean, a peach tree, I make an amazing peach cobbler.
Oh, do you?
Remember that?
Really? You know what? I wouldn't mind that. What's is it?
It's a family secret.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, my mom, she didn't give me the recipe for it until I was like 24.
She was hiding it?
Yeah.
From what?
She just
I've never understood that.
She just did not want to give me the recipe for it. I don't know why.
I need to be needed. At least for this peach cobbler.
She also has a recipe for egg pie.
Egg pie.
Which is, my dad's from Alabama, so this is like a thing up there. It tastes it has a consistency almost of a custard.
Yeah.
But it tastes kind of like sweet potato pie. Like a sweet potato pie eggnog kind of taste going.
What?
Yeah. It's really, really good. And she will not give me the recipe for it. One day.
On her deathbed,
maybe she's like, you give me grandchildren, I'll give you that.
I will trade you the first half of this for a boy child.
You're like, oh,
the
why
second
the
half,
boy? Oh.
A girl child. How about if I get you a dog, Mom?
What about goldfish? What are your thoughts?
What do you think about a bag of goldfish? And yeah, I never understood how goldfish could live in that bag. Maybe it's finite. Maybe they can only live for
I think it's like,
while.
hey, you've got like 45 minutes to put these fish.
Right, in something where there's more air coming in.
Yeah. Well, we had a fish tank. We had two. We had one with this giant African cichlid called an Oscar.
Okay.
And then we fed it goldfish.
Oh.
But we could not put the goldfish in the same tank as the Oscar because he was a psychopath.
Oh.
And would just like, if he couldn't eat them,
He would just kill them anyway?
yeah, he would just like pin them up against like the wall of the aquarium, and they die because he can't eat them. So we would put them in a separate, give them their own little.
Right, it was a holding tank.
Yeah,
until they
but
were
only
gonna
then do you
be dead.
realize how cruel it is that they're facing each other. It's like, yeah, this is going to happen to you. This is why you're here. We're feeding you to this guy.
Oh my God. That is brutal. Yeah, I don't know anything about pets. We have an iguana. You can meet Tiberius afterwards.
Cool.
He's in the garage.
In the garage.
Yeah, he's got a big kennel.
Does he have like a heat lamp at least?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, because it gets a little chilly.
Yeah, it's cold.
And yesterday he was out. He comes out a couple of times a week, wanders around, and sits on top of our garden. King of all he surveys.
Nice.
And the feral cats come in and they're like, what is he?
Like, what kind of cat is that? I've never seen that.
It's a weird cat. And then he whips his tail and goes, whack.
Whack. It's a mean, weird cat.
Mean cat that he will sometimes pad and chase, but he's very slow. Mm-hmm. So cats are like, wow, this is not terrifying at all. This is just the weirdest chase scene I've ever seen in my life. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're I think on any other food related dorkdom you would like. What is your favorite? I asked Lori Gilmartin this. I have a podcast with Lori Gilmartin about stand up, and there was a lull. And I said, what is your favorite meal? Speaking of people tricking themselves into thinking something is food, her favorite meal, sourdough bread toast, creamy peanut butter, and sliced red delicious apples.
Red delicious animals. That sounds like a
yeah,
meal.
that even sounds better. At least there's some meat. But I was like, that isn't even a meal.
A snack.
That's a snack, and a red delicious apple is an abomination before God and man. So
that's why I ate Granny Smith.
There you go, brought a Granny Smith. That's right. I have a gala sitting in the kitchen that I'm going to thoroughly enjoy a little bit later, and a Bartlett pear.
Have you had a grapple?
I have had a grapple.
Do they actually taste like grapes?
No. They're sweet. They're all right. I was like, what are you doing?
Get your head out of your ass, science. Grapples.
So do you have, and the thing is I couldn't answer what my favorite meal is. I could pick a favorite meal.
My favorite meal in the whole world. If I had to pick one.
Right. What would be one of the first ones you'd pick?
The first ones I would pick would be my mother's lasagna. My mom makes a really good homemade lasagna. She doesn't make it that often. And at one point, because my parents also had a garden, we grew a whole, like, way too many tomatoes. Like, an irresponsible amount of tomatoes.
No, there's not too many tomatoes because your neighbors will take tomatoes. Zucchini.
Yeah. We never grew zucchini.
A good choice because nobody wants them.
Yeah, nobody wants zucchini.
Because there's too many zucchini in the world.
Yeah, okay. But the tomatoes. So she made her own pasta sauce, like completely from scratch.
Yeah.
Once.
Yeah.
And it was the most magnificent lasagna, like, in the world.
Do you have that recipe? Will she give you that recipe?
I'm going to ask her. Now that you asked me, I'm going to.
Because here's the thing about lasagna. It's fiddly. It's labor intensive. Noodles.
That's right.
Sauce, cheese,
meat,
noodles. Sauce,
you can make
meat,
your bullshit veggie lasagna all day.
I used to make idiot lasagna.
What's idiot lasagna?
Idiot lasagna is you take a thing of macaroni and you boil that. You make the sauce and meat. You mix them all together. You put the cheese on top, and then you get one layer of lasagna noodles on top.
Wait,
and then
so it's like
it's fake
it's
lasagna.
Like a front.
It's just a facade of lasagna, and then you put it in the fridge overnight, like you do with all lasagna, because it has to set.
Yeah,
it's best if it sits in the fridge for 4 to 6 hours.
That never happened in our house.
Oh no,
okay. Yeah, we ate that immediately,
and it cut. She cooked it, and it cut. Okay, it wasn't.
Oh yeah, cut just fine.
Because the noodles in the sauce are usually warm.
Right.
So if you bake them, it sometimes, okay.
Well, she would cover it with foil and just let it sit until it was time to eat.
Okay.
So she'd make it a little in advance, but it wasn't like put it in the oven overnight.
She didn't make it and then kind of chill it and then bake it.
Nah.
Okay.
That wasn't happening.
Well, that's what I was told. But
I'm sure that might be the proper way to do it.
Right, but there was eating anyway.
Right, but you've got like 5 kids in the house and they're going to eat. So.
And idiot lasagna doesn't matter because it's all going to be a mess anyway.
With the macaroni, you're like, oh, look at this lovely layer of lasagna
casserole.
noodles. And
It's a casserole with lasagna noodles on top.
with just different kinds of pasta.
Guess what? Tastes just great.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah, talk about it's a scruggle meal.
Yeah. As long as you have like the basic components.
Right.
Like if you're trying to make lasagna with white sauce, you can go fuck yourself. That is disrespectful. That is flat out rude.
Right.
As long as you got like some good red sauce, cheese, meat, boom.
I don't know what the draw. White chocolate and white sauce. White sauce is okay.
It's all right.
White chocolate, if it's attached to a Christmas peppermint bark, I'll do it.
Right.
That's it for me.
Now, do you remember when Hershey made they've got the cookies and cream white chocolate bar.
Yeah.
But back in the day, they had like a mint chocolate. It was milk chocolate with mint.
Yep.
And it was like a cookies.
I'm listening.
It was like a milk chocolate cookies
and cream.
Cookies and cream, but it wasn't cream. It was milk chocolate with the peppermint.
With
and it
peppermint.
was so good. And they don't make it anymore.
Yeah. Here's I just found. This is seriously, this is an awesome dork forest because I am in a rabbit hole of yesterday. Or a day before I went and I always go to the ice cream case because ice cream is the sweet treat of choice because of my childhood, I guess.
Yeah.
And, but I like a Klondike bar ice cream, but I only like the dark chocolate covered ones.
All right.
And they never have them. They have Heath, they have Oreo, they have the original, they have Snickers, they have all these different variety that I don't want to be part of.
Snickers, Klondike bar?
Yeah,
but
I
you
don't
just
know.
get the Snickers ice cream bar.
Right, it's just all it is, and it doesn't taste like a Snickers. I would like a Snickers if I'm going to have, and I'm going to say the word Snickers again because it's fun for me. So yeah, that lasagna, your mom's lasagna, that's a good idea.
Yeah, good Lord. And plus my aunt used to work, she was like the union president or something of a Hostess. Rep. And so we would get like.
At Hostess?
Yeah.
Oh.
So we get some of their bread.
Yeah.
But when it was still dough. And then my mom would make like garlic bread with, man. Good memories, man.
Yeah,
my mom's an amazing cook.
That's great.
Yeah.
My dead mom who died, that's why I call her that. And what?
That would be odd if you called her.
She's dead to me.
Yeah, she's dead to me. She's dead inside. But
she never cooked when I was little because I never knew her when she cooked. But my brothers used to tell me that she used to cook because she tried really hard.
Yeah.
But she had 6 kids under the age of 10, and she was like, "I'm tired now. I'm just gonna go have a beer."
Peanut butter and jelly for everyone.
Exactly, and that was it. But then Nancy, my stepmother, who was my stepmother from when I was 8, she used to make some of the dumbest breakfast. Every morning she would make us breakfast.
Even though she couldn't cook.
Right. It was the shittiest. It was the shittiest breakfast. There was like one shitty meal after another, but you got it.
God.
And so we all
She was consistent.
She was a great loss to the Austrian army, as I've always said, because there were charts and graphs and French corners on the beds. And every morning, we'd all have to get up and be dressed and brushed and everything seated at the table by like 6:30. And she would it would be Mondays and Wednesdays were egg days. So it'd be scrambled eggs and then a variety of either bacon or whatever, right? Tater tots or
breakfast meat.
Some sort of breakfast meat and some sort of whatever. Potato. And then you'd
How do you mess up tater tots?
We didn't have tater tots. It was some sort of frozen potato thing. I think. I can't remember. Whatever it was food, and it wasn't very good, but it was edible, and we all went to school fed. And
but she tried her best,
and she did her damn. It was Are you kidding? I don't know that I would make breakfast for 6 children, if I was 26 years old.
Oh,
and
Lord, at 20, no.
Yeah, 7 to 17. That's how old we were.
I would have left. I would have just walked out
I would not
the
have
door.
married my father. I would not have married that guy. That guy, I would have been like, "Oh, you never told me you had 6 kids?" And he never did.
No, they didn't. No, you guys didn't learn how to cook?
No, we did. My sister was in charge of the grill, and when she was like 13, she'd walk around with matches all the time. She was like, "No, I'm in charge of the grill."
Wow, she
was
pride
13.
in it.
Yeah, she took a lot of pride in it
Nice.
because the element on our stove went out the year Darla turned 13, and we didn't get it fixed for a year, and so my sister would grill in Wisconsin every weekend. In January, she would stand in the garage with the grill just outside And she'd be like freezing with gloves on making dinner.
That's awesome.
And it was awesome. But the stovetop worked.
Right.
And so, and Nancy made a lot of stovetop food. And we were one of the first microwaves. I'm 100. And so my dad got this microwave from somebody. And then a year later, he got the element fixed.
Right.
My father was like, no, why didn't we just get the element fixed? And I was like,
yeah,
I don't know, Dad. Why didn't we?
He's like, I've got 6 kids. I've got stuff going on.
I'm doing laps around Milwaukee. That's why. And you're like, oh, okay. I'm sure glad you're busy. Anyway, but Monday and Wednesday were egg days, and Tuesday and Thursday were pancake days.
Ooh.
Bisquick pancakes I never liked pancakes until I went out and had pancakes after college.
You can't mess up Bisquick pancakes. It's just like
She fucked up Bisquick pancakes.
Oh boy.
The ones on Tuesday were dry and gross. The ones on Thursday had fruit in them. She would do canned fruit.
I love this.
And they were soggy. They were like not done.
Just let them be. She had to
fuck them up. I love Nancy Cation with the power of the sun. She couldn't cook her way out of a paper bag. We didn't know what the hell was going on. And we're like, what is happening?
Are you fucking with us right now? Is this like some kind of mental
It felt like mental torture that my sister to this day... I remember when she moved out, she came back when she was 18, she moved out, I remember, and I was 16, and we would get together like every couple of months, and she didn't have any money, she was doing a lot of struggle.
Yeah.
And so.
On the grill?
But no, she didn't, I think she had propane. Who knows, at camps, who knows what she was doing, but I think she was lit, whatever. But, she would come back and tell me stories of food. She's like, Jackie, butter, real butter. We're never having margarine again. And I said, make a pact with me. No margarine.
Wow. Like a blood oath. Like we will, I don't know. She doesn't talk about it. But my mother, if you ever brought margarine into the house, if you don't even speak of margarine, it was literally enough to send her into a blind rage. I don't know what happened. I don't know. She won't discuss it. She
Right.
won't tell us the story behind, her hatred of margarine. But
margarine in Wisconsin was illegal.
really?
Yeah, because we're the dairy state, right?
That's right.
So and when it was legalized, it couldn't look like butter. That was the law.
Is that where I can't believe it's not butter kind of comes from?
All I know is that my grandmother would buy margarine because she thought it was an exciting non-cholesterol alternative.
I thought it was a taboo.
Right. It was this thing. And she would make my dad drive to Illinois and buy margarine that looked like butter.
Wow.
And my dad loved to drive, so he would go. But if you bought margarine in Wisconsin, it was white. Mm-hmm. And you got a dye packet that came with it, sort of like ramen, right?
Yeah.
And then you would stir it all together, and then it would look like butter.
Really?
Yeah.
That is wild. Just just get butter. Why didn't you just get butter?
Well, it was remember when margarine was invented, they said it was better for you.
Oh, that's right.
Because the food industry was like, no, this is going to be better. And you're like, that can't possibly be true.
I could just get the real thing from a...
Right. And then margarine was expensive and it was fancy. And you're like, I didn't think you're dumb. And then I think in the 90s, we all learned that
it's just
they
plastic?
were lying. Is that you?
No. That's not.
How can it be me?
Son of a...
Is it you?
It is. But I had my phone on silent. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Usually my home phone goes off because we have a home phone because Andy's a safety mouse.
A safety mouse? What's a safety mouse?
He needs there to be a landline. Because he thinks when the big one hits, the landlines aren't going to go down. I think...
You're going to need a diesel truck.
Right.
I'm going to put my phone on airplane mode. I'm sorry about that. I didn't...
Right.
Yeah. But, so margarine, you had to have a dye packet.
Right.
When you could just buy butter.
Right, which would have been lovely.
Yeah.
Because butter's lovely. I love butter.
Butter's fantastic. Good Lord.
There's good work being done, cows. Thank you, cows.
Thank you.
Big listenership. Yeah. Walmart and cows.
Cattle.
Yeah. Cattle are in. Do we want to go? I kind of want to know about this other dorkdom, which is just you like to drive around and look at real estate.
Yes.
As does my sister. Yeah. So tell me more. What does it mean?
I think it kind of started because my parents, we moved, but before we moved, we just drove around. My dad would take us all as a family to go house hunting. And so as a result, I like to do it now. St. Louis has a lot of really interesting architecture because it kind of, certain parts of the city, it looks like it's on the East Coast.
Okay. Oh, okay.
A lot of brownstones, walk-ups, 4-family flats, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then as you move into certain neighborhoods, you can see the influence on, oh, this used to be a German neighborhood. This used to be a Polish neighborhood. And then
So they're like these weird craftsmen or like kind of ticky-tacky.
Barnyard-looking homes almost. And then you move out to the burbs, and there's a lot of ranch-style houses. It's a lot of different, styles of homes. So as a result, like especially in Houston, which has no zoning, if you didn't know.
No, I did not know that. You can build anything anywhere?
Anything. There's a housing project across the street from like a university.
Which has a strip club next to it.
There's like, they recently changed it, so you can't have strip clubs next to schools. They did change that,
which is so hard because people got to drop their kids off,
and then they got to get to work.
Got to get to work,
it's like right there.
Exactly.
But they did change that, so you can't have the strip clubs near the schools anymore. But they just recently changed that.
Yeah.
There's like mansions in the hood.
Right.
There's like it's a beautiful city because it's so ugly because there's just so much
the diversity of buildings.
Yeah.
It can be anything.
Anything. Right. You could live in a garage apartment behind a mansion. There's like it's beautiful.
All right.
And then it floods. And then the music
because it's a swamp, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of like not
marshy
a swamp. It's more like bayous,
but
different channels of water,
which is interesting because Texas has all of the things.
Yes,
it has all of the kinds of property.
Takes 2 days to get out of Texas.
Yeah,
and you also change. You change time zones. You go from central time zone. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. There's 2 different time zones.
There's central and there's mountain.
Right.
Yep.
Because diagonally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you're driving out from Houston. I
learned that from a Louis L'Amour novel. Not about the time zones, about the different kinds of terrain. Because there's different terrain. Because it's desert. It has almost everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got desert.
It's like California.
Yeah, but better.
Ooh, wait a minute.
Ooh, shots fired.
All right.
Well, California has legal weed, so I'll give them that.
Well, I was confused when I moved here because I was like, well, haven't you ever been to Wisconsin or any of the middle states? And they're like, no. Why would we go? And I realized if you've ever been to California Adventure, there's a thing called Soaring California, and that's when I realized why leave. Because if you want desert, they have desert. If you want ocean, they've got ocean. If you want woods, they've got the woods. If you want mountains, you got mountains. You've got snow if you need it. You've got, water. There's lakes. There's absolutely, like Yosemite, every kind of terrain. Mm-hmm. Why would you go to Wisconsin, which is very beautiful, but it's just woods and freshwater lakes and very gorgeous. But you can go to the middle of California and go, that's
also
that's where we got that.
You could go to Wisconsin and not meet anyone who's a yoga guru, who's a brand ambassador for a lifestyle blog. So
right,
that's
why
I
would life coach,
life coach, and a beard maintenance specialist.
Sure,
and all kinds of made up.
Well, everyone comes from all those different places, and they're like, "Well, I've always wanted to be an elephant whisperer." And like, well, now's the time.
Well, here you are. You're in Silver Lake. Make it happen.
Exactly.
Go for it.
That's what I always tell people when they move here. Is like you have to choose to like it, because if you don't want to like it, boy, is that easy. Because you can find a bunch of banana heads who are doing something that is enormously mockable. Mm-hmm. Where was I? Oh, I was in San Francisco, and next to there was it made me laugh so hard because there was a dog grooming place, like a fancy dog grooming place. Mm-hmm. And next to it was just a hair salon, and it was called People Hair, which you were like, oh, good.
Well, great. I don't want to confuse the two.
Well, because I could find more dog grooming places than hair salons.
Why don't they have dog grooming hair salons where you can go in and you have your dog getting groomed while you get groomed
a little
yourself?
Couples massage.
A shiatsu for your shiatsu.
Acupuncture for your dog and for you. Wow, we are making up.
A pedicure. What? Pedicure for your paws. These are $1 million ideas.
And they will happen. Cause the thing is I came up with things, and then the next thing that happens is FamilyPetAncestry.com. FamilyPetAncestry.com is an actual URL that I bought because I thought it was funny. The idea of finding out.
And someone bought it for like $50,000?
No, well, no one's asked me to purchase it, but it does, like, there are, like, do you want to, I do a joke about do you want to know if your cat came over on the Mayflower, right? If your dog's eligible to join the DAR, the Dogs of the American Revolution. And, so I did that joke on Conan, and a guy emailed me and said that his cat was a direct descendant of Harry Truman's cat. And I was like, well, either that's just funny or that's
you're a crazy
terrifying.
person.
Yes. You know the genealogy of your cat.
That's insane.
Right, I was like, is that true? And he never responded, so I don't think it was true.
Okay,
he was
maybe he was
kidding.
just trying to make jokes.
Yeah,
Thank
which
God.
is very funny.
Yeah.
It's a great joke, sir and or madam.
Yeah.
I can't remember who emailed me that.
They'll email you again with the paperwork. They'll
Right.
have the PDF.
Hi,
uploaded
Provenance.
Yeah.
Provenance. Anyway, yes.
Mr. Snufflebutters does not appreciate you making fun of his genealogy.
Right. So do you just like any kind of house?
Not just any kind. I don't.
Yeah.
I
What do
really
you
like.
look
I like homes that are kind of because I grew up with it's such a big family that I
Yeah.
kind of romanticize the cottage a little bit.
Yeah.
To have like my own little tiny little. So I went through a phase where I was really into tiny houses.
Oh, right, because those are a big deal now where you can, like a mother-in-law house or something, except
Yeah.
for you're like, no, I would live there.
Yeah, I'd live
Yeah.
there full time, all the time,
alone.
Why wouldn't I?
Blessedly
by
alone.
myself, for the love of God. But there's after kind of reading, I remember watching like a documentary of a guy who wanted to just make his own. And it kind of reminded me of my struggle with the coconut milk.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck that, I'm not going to do that. But I like bungalows. So it's not too big, it's not too small.
Right.
It's bigger than a tiny house,
Yep.
but it's also smaller than a craftsman.
Yep.
So you get kind of like the best of both worlds. And
Yep.
I like that. You can get a 2-3 bedroom house. Like also because my boyfriend's like, I don't like big houses because that means I have to clean them.
Yes.
And that's kind of a similar attitude. Like
Right.
Growing up, like having to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and clean the house from top to bottom.
Yeah.
Is like, I want to be able to just,
We did that on Saturdays. Did you guys do that on?
we did it on Saturdays.
Yeah, on Saturdays.
Saturday mornings.
Nancy Cation will wake us up with belly dance music.
Nice.
Yeah, and you'd hear the zills going, da-ding, 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 ding, ding, those tiny cymbals on the hands. They're called zills.
Well, see, we did like, we'd play like Motown, old school.
Oh, nice.
music.
Well, that's kind of, cranked, and then you're like, we're cleaning.
All right,
it's
it's clean
happening.
mode. Let's get it done. I remember once we had to.
Where are
clean-
you in the litany?
I am
oldest, youngest.
third.
Oh,
So-
dead center.
Yeah, I've got my oldest sister who's 14 years older than me.
Right.
And then they're my two older sisters from my parents, each their previous marriages.
Right. So like a almost different generation.
Yeah.
My oldest brother, my oldest three brothers think they grew up in a different family.
Yeah.
And I was like, kinda.
Sorta. You think about it. So my oldest sister's 14 years older than me. My sister older than me. She's 3 years older than me.
Okay.
Than me. And then my younger brother, who's 5 years younger than me.
Okay.
Whom I asked for.
Oh, you were like,
I was like, yeah, all my other classmates are talking about how they've got little brothers, and I kind of want a little brother.
Can I get a little brother?
Boom, got a little brother. Mm-hmm. Who almost burnt the house down. I said it.
There you go.
He'll be mad.
Still happening.
I'm gonna send
We're
him the
still
link.
talking about it.
Still talking about it. True.
It's going to be something. There are things you talk about.
Yeah. He almost, that's how, actually when,
How did he do it? Was he
So-
little?
okay, the kid, my mom gave us very explicit instructions.
Yes.
Of what to cook while she was gone.
Okay.
My parents had went out to do something, buy a washing machine or something. I don't know.
Yeah. They were on
And
task.
They were doing a thing. Maybe they checked in at a motel, wanted some parent time. I don't know. But she was like,
Between them and their God.
It's whatever they did, their business. So she was like, I made chili. It is in the freezer. Heat it up. That's it.
Done and done.
Non-negotiable. So I told my siblings, hey, I'm going to heat up this chili.
chili.
And my brother decided he didn't want any. He was like, oh, it makes my stomach hurt. I was like, no, it doesn't, because you eat it all the time. Well, I don't want to eat it. I want chicken. I was like, well, we're not doing that.
Right.
Mom said chili, we're making chili. So he tries to kind of argue with me about it. I was like, I'm going to the bathroom.
Okay.
And by that, I just meant like, I need to stand in the bathroom for just like, just to get my mind together,
Yeah.
splash some water on my face.
So he's 5 years younger than you. How old are you?
I was 15, I think.
he was 10-ish.
He was 10 years old.
And
No, 16.
Okay.
So 10, 11-ish.
Yeah.
And I go in the bed. It's wintertime. There's snow outside. And I don't know how he managed to do this, because we didn't have a gas stove. We had
Right.
an electric stove. I don't know how he did it.
What? You had an electric stove and there's
We had
fire.
an electric stove, and he did
He
this.
might be a genius.
I don't know how he did it. I swear to this day, I just remember hearing the sound. Apparently, he poured a bunch of chicken, like vegetable oil into a pot. Not the standard, cast iron skillet you use to fry things.
No, like a pot.
Like a pot.
Uh-huh.
Filled it up with oil. Turned it up to high. And then just threw frozen chicken wings.
So he didn't really know how to make it because he's a tiny child.
No, he's a kid.
Right. And so he's like, fried chicken, oil, chicken.
Boom.
Right. There's
What
no
could go
dredging.
wrong?
What could go wrong? There's no dredging.
Yeah.
It's just chicken in oil.
Yes. And a sauce pot.
And a dream. And a hope.
And a hope and a dream. That's and in the time, I remember the sound of just hearing like
an explosion.
like a whoosh. Like I hear the whoosh and I hear the screams and then I hear like his little footsteps and I hear the front door just slam open.
Oh, like he ran?
Like he's running. Like I hear the sound of him running through
He
the
didn't
house.
run to get you?
No.
Say,
So
Nia,
No. So in the bathroom, we have a frosted window that face, that
one of those
So I see the silhouette of my little brother run out into the snow and just disappear. And I remember just looking at the window and going like, and so here come my little sister and my little, Roy, he's on fire. He's on fire. And I go outside, I go and open the door, I go outside, and he's face down. I'm sorry, Roy. In a snowbank.
Putting himself out?
Just in the snow.
Like an angel.
Like he's making a face down snow angel. With like the pot is like just away from his outstretched hand. So
he brought the pot with him.
Yes.
That is a responsible young man. He didn't just leave it in the house.
So apparently, whoosh was the frozen meat hitting the hot oil, overflow, fire. Oh, his eyebrows caught fire.
Well, he's lucky he didn't get his face get burned. Holy smokes, his eyebrows get burned off?
One of his eyebrows singed off. Oof. He grabbed the pan, which was on fire.
Yep.
Ran outside and threw himself in the snow.
That's very responsible response to it.
It is. That's quick thinking for a 10-year-old.
That is pretty quick thinking.
You know. So I guess he didn't know how to put out a grease fire because he's a kid.
Right.
And instead, there's snow outside. I will run
That's water. That's cold.
I will throw myself upon the gods with the pot so my mom's not mad at me.
Right. So he didn't destroy the pot. He just lost an eyebrow.
Oh, the pot was gone.
Oh, the toast. Yeah. And the wings.
And the wings. Ruined.
Well, ruined.
Totally ruined.
That's $6 worth of chicken and oil gone.
Gone. We'll never get it back.
Exactly.
And so we called the fire department, and they came and they just started throwing kitty litter all over our kitchen. Not just handfuls, just like LeBron James with baby powder, throwing that shit everywhere. And just in time for like my parents to come home, and my mom was freaking out over my brother because he was burnt up,
right.
And my dad was like threatening the firefighters.
He's like, stop throwing. It's out. It's out.
Stop throwing that shit in my
kitchen. We're just gonna have to clean it up. You're good.
Get out. Stop.
It's worked out.
They like poured it on the floor. It was terrible.
Right, and then it took days, and then it's like a Christmas tree pine needles finding it a month later.
They're everywhere.
You're like, we don't have a cat. Did you have a cat?
No, we did not have a cat.
Right, so there you go.
Oh, yeah, that was that story. Woo! But food. There's the tie-in.
Right. There's the tie-in, and I'm sure the chili never happened.
No. No.
Oh my God!
And then I think when my dad yelled at the firemen, like because you call the fire department and the police show up, and the police were trying to ask him like all these questions about, well, why were the children left unattended? Why were they like, hey?
First of all, she's 16.
All right,
yeah. We were off at a motel
doing our thing. Yes. Okay, probably making kid number 7. Now, file your report so I can call my insurance guy.
Exactly. And try not to charge us more than $300 for you showing up.
Right.
Because we had one of our, Andy loves an impulse buy when someone comes to the door. We're getting new windows.
Ooh. Are they energy efficient windows?
Yes, they are.
Then yes.
It'll be lovely. Anyway. But Andy, a guy comes to the door and Andy Ashcraft is on board.
Oh,
He's
like a salesman?
Yeah.
Nice.
So we bought ADT.
From a door-to-door salesman.
Andy loves a door-to-door
That
salesman.
could have been a scam.
It could have been.
Yeah.
I always think it is. I don't think it's a scam. I think it's a pain in my ass.
Is
because if I'm looking to purchase something, I just want to buy it. I don't want to I don't want to talk.
You don't want like a dude to show up and
show me his binder. I can't. I don't want anything to do with the binder.
I'll pick the first one. Just
leave. Just tell me. I don't need to hear the story of our lives in front of you. And so, that's your backup water, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
And so where are we at? Oh, we're doing good. But so we have ADT. We have a thing.
Yeah.
What's it? I don't know.
Security,
alarm system.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. And so we were both on a trip. And we turned our phones off because we went out to dinner with friends. We turned our phones back on when I was like, I have to go to the bathroom. So I turned my phone on because I'm an American. I'm alive. And all of a sudden, my phone blew the fuck up because the alarm had gone off and people had tried to call. And our emergency backup number was his buddy Phil had also called. And what had happened was the Santa Anas came through and blew our inside door open.
Oh.
And so Phil had come over and had talked to the police, and he didn't know our safe word to turn off the alarm.
Oh, okay.
And but it turns out the cops charged us like $300 to come by. And you're like,
even though nothing was wrong?
Right. They were like, I think if something had been wrong, they wouldn't have charged us. If we had been robbed, then it's free.
You're just hoping,
right?
For crime.
But if it's an inconvenience to the police,
well, then that's $300.
Then it'll be $300.
Your stuff is still here? $300.
Yeah. Then you clearly have enough money to pay us.
But or at least you didn't get robbed. My house got robbed on Christmas Day.
Ah, boo!
2 years ago.
Merry Christmas.
I will never forget it. Christmas Day.
They broke into your place and took your crap?
Yep. Kicked my door in. My boyfriend and I, we went to his uncle's house for Christmas.
Right.
We're only going to be there for maybe like an hour and some change. And we left. As we pulled off, there were some teenagers walking around. And the youths walking around. And my boyfriend was like, I don't like the look of those kids. And I was like, come on, what are we, like old? Come on.
Right.
It's Christmas. And
he was correct.
He was right.
We have Ute because we live on an alley. And so the kids, and there's a high school right by us. So they're always sort of remember when you're 15 or 16, you don't want to go home.
Yeah, you just want to hang out.
Right. And so our neighbor, he is a buzzkill and built this fence. And so now they can't sit and drink their soda pops and get high.
Well, good.
By his house. And so they sit in front of our garage and drink their soda pops and get high. And Andy, Grandpa Ashcraft, likes to go out and say, you can sit here and get high, but don't litter. And I
hit him with a garden hose.
The only thing we don't like is when there's drug deals that happen behind.
Oh my God.
We don't enjoy that.
Such a quaint neighborhood that there's.
Well, it's a very blue collar neighborhood, but there is,
and they need their drugs.
Well, people need drugs or they want to make out or do it.
Behind your house?
Right. I had a lady come to the front door. She said, hey, there's a sort of an SUV rocking behind your house. You might want to.
Wow.
And I was like,
did you go a knocking, even though it was a rocking?
I thought about it. I got my sword because I have a sting, and then I was like, well, that's not going to help. So I grabbed my phone, which seemed much more useful. Mm-hmm. What I do as Gramication over here, as a buzzkill, will sometimes just make the garage door open, which is will. It's like throwing a bucket of water on people.
Right.
You're like, oh, people are around. We should go make out.
Was this during the
else.
day? Like
yeah, totally.
Like
3 p.m. Someone and our neighbor down the block. I think they were having an affair or something because they would meet somebody here, and you're like, well, just break up.
Yeah,
don't
do it in an alley.
Don't do it gross. That doesn't feel like love. That doesn't feel romantic.
Love means never having to have sex in an alley. That's
Nia DeBose, it has been an hour.
Oh,
we talked mostly about food, which I am in favor of, and this egg pie business.
Oh yes,
I would like that recipe. Yeah. Quite honestly,
if I get it, if my mother ever,
I may just Google the words egg pie and see, because Andy's been looking for a gooey cake recipe.
Gooey butter cake?
Yeah.
Oh, honey, yes.
He's been making gooey because his family's entirely from Mississippi.
Yeah, man.
And so he almost has it. And he's like, it's almost this. And I was like, well, keep
just in a
failing.
lab, like,
Fail
I'm
upward.
so close.
Keep failing upward. It's fine.
Yeah.
And because it doesn't matter because it all tastes amazing in the end.
I've got a friend that makes her own gooey butter cake.
There's a like a southern like soul food place on Lancashire.
What?
On the Shim.
Okay.
Over here that is called Soul Kitchen or who knows what it's called.
Okay.
It's really good. What I like is they make really good greens. Like there's like really good collard greens or whatever. I don't know if it's kale or collard greens or
It's collard greens. If it's black owned, it's collard greens.
right.
It's not.
And and then like the food thing with him. Like every New Year's Day, we have to have black-eyed peas.
Yeah.
And it's lovely. It's, I
Is your husband black?
He is secretly a black man.
Okay.
No, actually, we just did 23andMe, which is a DNA thing, and it's $200. So guess what you get? $200 worth of DNA. Which
is that a good amount of DNA? I would imagine.
It is not.
Okay.
It is a very basic amount of DNA. But what Andy Ashcraft found out was that he is literally 100% white.
Oh.
He is almost
From
translucent.
Mississippi?
Well, yes, he is, and they came over, like his family landed in New Orleans during the Civil War, so immediately conscripted into the Confederate Army.
New Orleans,
Yes.
Mississippi,
Yeah.
100% white.
100% white. And he was like, we were told we were part Native American.
Oh.
And I was like, well, that sounds like someone's trying hard.
Right.
And me, I am supposedly half Armenian, a quarter Irish, and a quarter Norwegian. Well, it turns out I am like 24% Middle Eastern, another 18% kind of Middle Eastern, like Mediterranean.
Okay.
And then 54% Irishy, like Northern European white. And I told my brother, and my sister is 18% Italian.
How does your sister
Different science. I did not know this about science. When your parents both have their own DNA,
Yeah.
each of your siblings gets a random collection from each of them.
Oh.
It makes sense once
like
it's said out loud.
Yeah, kind of like the memory of your. I took a biology thing,
But
in
science
class, and
is-
we did like a chart of that. Like if you had two parents, like who gets the blue eyes, who gets the brown eyes, and kind of get that. And you'll get that one sibling that has green.
Yep. Because my brother Scott has green eyes, and my mother was essentially, I was told, like entirely Irish and Norwegian, but who knows what the hell? And in Armenia, quite honestly, Turkey and Armenia was on the spice trade, so there was a lot of raping and getting laid on the space. Soldiers and
Right.
and
I
trade.
imagine there's like a mix with a lot of migration. And
a boatload of migration.
Yeah.
And humanity. So, who knows? But so I've decided to just call myself half Irish and half Armenian now because I'm not gonna fiddle and diddle.
Yeah, that's
and my sister and I, because we don't have an X chromosome. Wait, a Y chromosome. Yeah.
The other one.
The other one, the boy one.
Yeah.
Because we were both born women and girlies. And so we're like, we got to get one of our brothers, because we have 4 brothers, to do it. And my brother Russ is going to do it. He was, because both of my brothers said exactly what I said to Andy, and Andy had to explain science. He was like, I was like, how's Darla different? And he was like, remember genetics? And I was like, briefly. And then he explained it, and I was like, "Oh, that does make sense." So
I would like to do one of those. I think I'm just standard.
Right. Well, who knows?
Yeah.
Right.
There's a little bit of mixing in there, but not enough worth mentioning.
Right.
Like,
because your dad's from Alabama.
Yeah.
Where's your mom from?
My mom is born and raised in St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay.
Yeah, but her mother, my grandmother, grew up, I think, like on an Indian reservation in Oklahoma.
Okay. So there's, if she was on the res, there's Native American, right? Yeah. So there you go.
There's something in there.
Right. It's a cornucopia. It's America.
It's just a nice mix mash of.
Yeah. And everybody's going to be everything in the end anyway.
We're going to be a nice beige.
It's going to be sort of a nice, I like a nice caramel.
Oh, that's a good one too.
It's
a
nice
dulce de leche kind of.
It's how I like my coffee as well.
Yeah.
It's I'm going for a
cafe au lait.
I call it a Halle Berry. Because I'm an asshole. And I make that joke, and if I'm unwilling to make it in front of black people, I'm a genuine jackass.
That's true.
Yes.
So at least it's indiscriminate.
Yeah. So as long as let's just do it. Yeah. Speaking of that, everybody takes care of everybody. Everybody has everybody's back out there. That's the rule. You know that, Rangers of the Dork Forest.
Nice.
So we have been speaking with Nia DeBose. So it's LOL Nia DeBose, DeBose on Twitter, Nia_DeBose on Instagram, and NiaDeBose.com and go see your stand-up. What do you want to plug? This is coming out December 27th, 2016.
December 27th. Like I said, every Sunday at the Comedy Store, check out Show Up, Go Up.
Show Up, Go Up is a show at the Comedy Store in the Belly Room every Sunday here in Los Angeles.
That's right.
And then go find your stand-up, because good times.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you for doing the show.
Thank you for having me.
And thanks for listening, Rangers. You know the rules. Take care of each other. Bye.
My hat, my hat, my hat. They're dancing around my hat. My hat, my hat, my hat. Well, what do you think of that? If it looks like a Mexican hat dance and it sounds like a Mexican hat dance, it's most likely a Mexican hat dance. So take off your hat and let's dance.
Yay! Oh my God. Why don't we just call that as the end of the show?